Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to United Unitarian Universalist Congregation. This beautiful day, what a raucous crowd today. What a gorgeous day. My name is Reverend David Kramer, minister here at this church, helping with today's service. Chet Celenza. Chet is in the house. Alex Chilson. Aaron Hurwitz, our tech, of course, and everybody else. Andrew Bailey is leading religious education for our children and youth today. A couple of things to lift up. Following worship today will be a meeting of our Social Justice Council. We'll meet back up here in the sanctuary after some time for coffee and conversation down below. Susan Bergman has been taking care of our gardens outside for all spring. She will be leaving this summer, and so we're going to need some help watering and weeding and paying attention. There's a sign-up sheet for some weeks, I think, when you might be take charge of the garden. See Susan for more on that. Tomorrow we will hold our blood drive here, and there are still, I think, 10 slots available. Is that right, Ellen? And so about that. So Ellen Poplowski has, again, a sign-up sheet for giving blood if you are willing and able to do that. Next week, we have a lot going on. Next week, after worship, we will have our annual meeting, so please mark your calendars because we have important stuff to talk about. But also on that day, we will hold our flower communion. So you need to find some flowers to bring to exchange with people for flower communion for next Sunday. We also will spend some time recognizing our children and youth who have been in RE classes for the entire year, and our wonderful volunteers who have been leading them. So lots going on next week. After worship today, we could also use a little help moving chairs around for the blood drive, right?
Bring a few tables up from downstairs, just a few.
And bring a couple of tables up. Okay, so if we had a little bit of muscle, that would be helpful. I think with that, yes, more announcements? No. Oh, these are muscles. I see. You weren't raising your hand. You were demonstrating. Excellent. So with that, please center yourselves for worship. I have some words from Reverend Dr. David Breeden, who once led this congregation some years ago. Welcome to this place, where certainty transforms to questions. This place that takes what is and imagines what can be. Welcome to this space where what was fixed begins to shift, where rigidity embraces unfolding as we join in the dance of transformation. Welcome to this moment of change, where together we transfigure and transcend together. And now, Jake. Would you help us? Where's Jake? There you go. Would you help us light our chalice this morning? Please join me in words that you may know by heart. May this flame kindle within us the warmth of compassion, the glow of love, the fire of commitment, and the light of truth. Here together we scatter and nurture seeds of spirit, service, and community. And now Chet Celenza is going to lead us in our first hymn. This is not in your hymnal. If you are a Who fan, it may be in your memory. Please rise and body your spirit.
I won't do any of those helicopter things. What happened? Yeah. So, that would be death. We should do that. Yeah. So good to see you guys. I'm not nervous at all. It's natural. But no, there's the part in this song is that goes. join together with the band is beautiful, and we can all harmonize on that and sing that. But I'll teach it to you real quick. Maybe get the right. Join. What key are you in? Join together. You want to go D? It's the people's chord. So it goes on. Join together. Join together. Join together with the band. Join together. Join together. Join together with the band. Beautiful. I'm hearing it. I wrote the words down so I wouldn't forget them. I get so excited. You have no idea how excited. Like, I'm bubbling over right now. It's kind of dangerous. Kind of dangerous right now. And I'm telling you, it's a concern. I'll be bringing it up later with the rocks, the stones in the water. Here we go. So let's go. Join together with the band. Join together. Join together. Join together with the band. Beautiful. And then, if you want to try it, this is fun because we get to work together here. We don't move in any particular direction, and we don't take no collection. I want you to join together with the band. Here we go. Join together. Join together. Join together with the band. Join together. Join together. I can. What you read or what you wear, I want you to join together with the band. There's a million ways to laugh, and everyone's a path. Come on and join together with the band. I need you to join together. Join together. Everybody come on, and everybody come on, come on, come on, come on, join together with the band. Here we go. You don't have to play, you can follow or lead the way. I want you to join together with the band. We don't know where we're going, but the season's ripe for knowing. I want you to join together with the band. Hey, 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 join. Everybody come on, come on, come on, join together. 2, 4. Join together, join together, join together with the band. Ready? It's the singer, not the song, that makes the move and muse along. Oh, come on, join together with the band. It's the biggest band you'll find. It's as deep as it is wide. Come on and join together with the band. Hey, everybody, come on, join. Everybody, come on, come on, come on, come on, join together with the band. Hey, 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 hey. And everybody, come on, come on, come on. together with the band.
You got your lighters? My very first rock concert in the early 70s was The Who. Man, yeah, it was fantastic. Keith Moon was still alive. Pete Townsend was still wrecking guitars on stage. Blah. It was fantastic. Thanks, Chet. That got us going. So each week, we share in the life of this congregation by sharing joys and sorrows, bits and pieces of our individual lives. If you have something to share, I would invite you to come forward, tell us your name, speak into the microphone, take a stone from the bowl, hold it in your hand, share with us, and when you are finished, place it in the bowl with the water to let the ripples carry your concerns out to the wider community.
Hello, I'm Sarah. This is Zoe. She's gonna put. You want to pick a rock in? Or we have to pick a rock? Okay. Yeah, put that one in. Okay, put it in. All right. Do you want to tell everybody what did you do yesterday?
I went to my dance recital.
Yay! Not in those shoes. She had her very first dance recital, and Gilles and I were in it too. Our tap group was in it, so we had a lot of fun.
Maybe we should just put a stool here. I'm too short. So sadly, I did not get to watch Zoe do her first dance recital because I was in a swim meet. But my joy is that I signed up for the 11, 12, 100 meter breaststroke, and I beat the girl that was 13 in it. So by like a millisecond, so I'm really glad about that. Yeah, and then we went to get Culver's, so that was fun too. That's Prince Biddy.
Hi, I'm Ellen. I have a few things. One is that Jeff and I had a wonderful trip to London and Ireland, and we're back, obviously. Stone for Marion Robinson, Michelle Obama's mom, who passed away. School's out soon, and while that's a joy for most kids, it might mean not so joyful for others, and maybe they don't get the school lunches and all that kind of stuff. So just keep kids in mind. And then my last is, my understanding is today is 100 years since Native Americans have been able to vote. But my understanding is that there are also still many barriers allowing them to do so.
My name is Lily, and I have state for track on Thursday through Saturday, so keep me in your thoughts of doing really good. I have javelin. I'm going to state for javelin, so.
My name is Debbie Brownlow, and next Sunday we're not going to be at church. We're going to be at the Democratic Convention in Milwaukee. But Jim and I are celebrating 40 years of marriage next Sunday, and when we got married, we decided we were going to renegotiate at 40. So keep your fingers crossed for me, because I got the best part of the deal, so I'm hoping it'll continue.
I'm Meg, and I'm guessing that this will resonate with some of you out there. So I'm going to read it. It's a book that I got from a friend of mine, and it's like you read something every day kind of thing. And this was day 2. There is great power in not knowing what is next, not knowing what to decide, not knowing how you will make it to where you know you want and need to be. Every given moment contains within it doorways of opportunity, and when you choose to walk through the one, you make realities available to you that were once invisible. When you do not know what is next, you enter the realm of infinite potential. Instead of trying to plan your life so safely and so succinctly, you can begin to plan for the moment, the joy, the journey. Instead of living on autopilot, you can learn how to continuously meet the ever-changing, ever-possible now. When you finally admit that you do not know what is next, you enter the golden vortex, the space between everything you know you're meant for and anything you had previously imagined. Welcome to the golden vortex.
How you doing? I'm a Celenza, Sally Celenza. And the reason why I have a joy is next week we are not going to be here either because the Italian-American Asonia Club, which Chet's grandfather was a founding member, is celebrating 100 years. And we're going to have a big picnic with the Italians.
Good morning, I'm Lisa. For those of you who know me, talking in front of a group makes me nervous. But it sounds like a lot of us aren't going to be here next weekend, myself included, because most of you can think of Erin as being one of the little ones, and next Sunday she graduates from high school. So, yeah. So many of you have been there for her. You know, you haven't seen her a lot in the last few years because she's a teenager, so she has jobs, and as a lot of you know, she's super involved in scouting. That's where she is this weekend. So even though you haven't seen her, she still really thinks of this as a community for her. There's no doubt in her mind that there's a group of people here that love her, and that she could turn to if she needed something. So even knowing, I just wanted you all to know that you don't see her a lot, but when she does come, the welcome and the love that you show towards her has given her a lot of stability over this, getting through high school. So anyhow, congratulations to Erin, and she's leaving for the University of Minnesota in the fall. So, thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and I have a joy. I also had a swim meet Saturday. It was actually the same one Molly went to, and this was my first time being with the 11, 12-year-olds, and I'm pretty sure I won most of my races, but I'm unsure. But there are definitely a lot more close races than in the lower age group. There were like a few people that were catching up to me, whereas in the other age group, it was not that close.
Hi, my name is Mike. 2 weeks ago, I tried to create a little excitement here. If you don't know, I got out of my car and fell flat on my face. I want to thank some people that have been extremely good to me. Adele followed me to the hospital and sat with me in the emergency room. And I don't think you were in for the CT, were you? No. And then took me home, spent most of that day with me at the house. Next day, she came back to the house, helped me find some services that I could use, laundry services and possible rides, services, and other things. That was very kind of her. Next day she came back again. Boy, she's glutton for punishment. What she did is we contacted the Department of Aging, found out what they had to offer. She took me to my primary care doctor, sat there all the time talking to me and being in the area. She stopped at the grocery store and made sure I had food and things. Very much appreciated. And then the care committee made some phone calls to me to see how I was doing, if there was anything they could do. At the time, there really wasn't anything that they could do that hadn't already been done. So that was extremely good. Lisa Berry, Reverend David, I think you called. Yeah, he called, sure. And I'm missing somebody here. Who am I missing? Donna Lundeen, yes. She called me that day that I fell. So that was very, very nice. And I heard some people made phone calls to other people just to check on how I was doing. Luckily, other than having a black eye and a bruise on my arm, I'm fine. So anyway, it's so nice to know this congregation exists and that they all care about everybody else. So, a thank you to everybody who wished me well, whether that was a person on the phone or out in the parking lot when I was on the ground, but it was very nice.
I'll place one last stone for all those joys and sorrows that remain unspoken, but on our hearts and minds, let's sing together, Walking with You. So I have a story. Today's service was an auction request from Chet Celenza. He won the bid. He was the winning bidder on the auction topic, and he asked if I would talk about the in-between, which is from his story, The Mouse and the In-Between. Some of you may know that this book was written by Chet actually many years ago, and just recently illustrated by his daughter Addie, and then published. And it's a beautiful, beautiful book. It's one of my favorites, and I want to read this story now. We'll talk about it more in just a little bit. But this is The Mouse and the In-Between. A mouse one day, with eyes agleam, tried to find the in-between. He looked about and saw it not. still curious, some help he sought. He asked the sea if it had seen what might be called the in-between. "Ask again, please," said the sea. "This in-between, what do you mean?" The mouse, he thought, "'twas such a task. It's true, this question's hard to ask. You know," he said, "it's where things touch, different things, like sea and land and such. The mountains, for instance, they stand so tall, and the valley so flat and all. Where do they meet? Where is that place? Is there a line that I could trace?" "Such questions," said the sea so brash, "from a creature so small. Why do you ask? Besides, you'd know much better than I mostly share my time with sky. You live there so close to the land, while I mostly touch rocks and ice and sand." "That's it," said the mouse. "Here where you touch the sand. Now here, then here. Do you understand?" The sea, so wise, still could not find such a place, so hard to define. "I wish you luck," said the sea. "I see what you mean, but I can't see what you see." So the mouse took the sea's suggestion and went to find someone else to question. On his way he walked and pondered, and of all and of the other in-betweens he wondered. Like the place between night and day, forest and field, earth and sky, I sigh. These questions dazed him, and he couldn't see. Then, oops, he tripped on the root of a tree. As he looked up with an awe-filled gaze, the mouse saw what looked like a maze. Branches weaving everywhere, twisting and tangling through the air, all coming together where he could see the mighty trunk of the grandfather tree. The mouse stood up and wiggled his whiskers, then remembered his question and began to whisper. "Excuse me, wise old grandfather tree. I ask of you, please help me." The tree, it groaned and bent a bough, and then so calmly spoke somehow. "If I can help, I will gladly try. Please rest on my root, and let's chat a while." The mouse, he sat and asked with ease, "Old tree, where might I find the in-between?" "The places where great forces meet," the mouse inquired from his root seat. The tree, he paused, then spoke with wisdom. "It's in what you see. You must look within them. In the earth, the sky, the land, the sea, the forest kingdom, in you, in me. You must know this even when there is no sign. Sometimes that's real hard to define. In me, it's quite clear if you just move some dirt. It's a line round my trunk that I wear like a skirt. I need the bright sun and the air up above, yet I live in the ground. 'Tis the earth that I hug. What lives in the soil is different by far than what fills the sky, both near and far. I change at that point, and there you can see the in-between that lives in me. Just dig near my trunk, and a change you'll discover. You'll find on me that which I share with my brothers." The mouse he dug and revealed quite clear 'twas the in-between place. He'd found it right there. Then another question arose in his mind. "You said, it's in me, but I don't have a line." "That's true," said the tree, speaking from a big knot. "My line stands still, but yours moves, does it not? You breathe in the air and drink from the sea. You live on the earth, and there's warmth inside thee. That warmth meets the earth when you eat something good. You breathe out air, and that helps me make food. You drink lots of water to live and grow. All these things in you give warmth, and you glow. Like day and night when they dance with each other, the dusk and the dawn show us this with such color. So give yourself credit for your yearning to discover the spirit that makes us all sisters and brothers. For things that are real, we know sight unseen when we feel our lives shared in the in-between. The mouse thanked the tree as he went on his way. A wiser mouse, really, now wouldn't you say? And that's my story. Let's sing the children out. I think Andrew has some activities for them. Center yourselves for a few moments of meditation, prayer. These have been a couple of big weeks in my life and perhaps in yours too, and in our collective lives. Many changes happening or about to happen. Some words of assurance from poet Aurora Levins Morales, Vahavta. Say these words when you lie down and when you rise up, when you go out and when you return, in times of mourning and in times of joy. Inscribe them on your doorposts, embroider them on your garments, tattoo them on your shoulders, teach them to your children, your neighbors, your enemies, recite them in your sleep. Here in the cruel shadow of empire, another world is possible. Thus spoke the prophet Roque Dalton. Altogether they have more death than we, but altogether we have more life than they. There is more bloody death in their hands than we could ever wield unless we lay down our souls to become them. And then we will lose everything. So instead, imagine winning. This is your sacred task. This is your power. Imagine every detail of winning, the exact smell of the summer streets in which no one has been shot, the muscles you have never unclenched from worry, gone soft as newborn skin. The sparkling taste of food when we know that no one on earth is hungry, that the beggars are fed, and that the old man under the bridge and the woman wrapping herself in thin sheets in the back of a car and the children who suck on stones nest under a flock of roofs that keep multiplying their shelter. Lean with all your being toward that day when the poor of the world shake down a rain of good fortune out of the heavy clouds and justice rolls down like waters. Defend the world in which we win as if it were your child. It is your child. Defend it as if it were your lover. It is your lover. When you inhale and when you exhale, breathe the possibility of another world into the 37.2 trillion cells of your body until it shines with hope. Then imagine more. Imagine rape is unimaginable. Imagine war is a scarcely credible rumor. That the crimes of our age, the grotesque inhumanities of greed, the sheer and astounding shamelessness of it, the vast fortunes made by stealing lives, the horrible normalcy it came to have is unimaginable in our heirs, the generations of the free. Don't waver. Don't let despair sink its sharp teeth into the throat with which you sing. Escalate your dreams. Make them burn so fiercely that you can follow them down any dark alleyway of history and not lose your way. Make them burn clear as a starry drinking gourd over the grim fog of exhaustion, and keep walking. Hold hands. Share water. Keep imagining, so that we and the children of our children's children may live. Blessed be. Each week we take up a collection that is part of what it takes to sustain this community, this sense of belonging that we share. Please give generously. So like I said earlier, the message today is the search for the in-between, sparked by Chet's story. So I'm going to invite Chet up right now to share a little bit about his thinking as he has developed this story, and then I'll do a little thinking myself.
You're a thinker.
Or a stinker.
Or a thinker. My mother used to call me a stinker. Stinker! Wow, you couldn't put a better service together. So far, everything, I'm sitting here thinking the things, whatever you wrote, whatever you read there, and was all pertaining. It had connections to the in-between. And so in an introduction, excuse me, I take a couple of breaths. So I'm very excited about this whole process because ever since I wrote the story, ever since the story was published, actually, it was awakening all these different things. And I would just be driving going, oh, and then the in-between. There's an in-between here. And it's not just this vague little space. It became this very deep philosophical thing. But more so, it became a very spiritual thing in its ability to kind of hold to actually put a definition or put a hold on something that's so universal and so spiritual and so sought after by all of us. And we use it and we don't even know we have it. It's like, it is kind of definition of being spiritual. You know, it's like, everyone's told me, especially in our days of doing some spiritual development things, that we all have this capacity. It's just, we kind of veil it, you know, to get through the day. You know, but every now and then we get this little intuition, or we're in this space where we're like, wow, that was, and it's very fleeting, you know. So I always felt like this, it felt like the in-between became this bigger than normal, bigger than life thing. So the book is evolved from there, and I'm so glad because I got a mind like David's here, like that darn squirrels. The squirrel mind is gonna. I want him to kind of just see what he thinks about it. You got your best friend. You're like, hey, what do you think of this? You want to hear their opinion, and you're hopeful that they're going to be very honest with you. Oh, it's excellent. No, really. Did you like that one part? I think he's going to be very specific. And so I did write something. I was kind of haunted by my inability to focus. I can kind of ramble. I'm waiting for I got a couple of cues. If you guys in the audience, you know me, just kind of give me the nod, like yeah, look how it's right here, Chet. So I wrote it all down, right? Genius. So here's what I got. This planet was made for two. This is a song verse, and it says so much. It's a song about love, yes, but I feel it's broader. We need each other on so many levels. The more united we are, the better our chances for survival. History, the greatest teachers, has told us that. In the story, the mouse noticed there was a place where two things meet, making this place itself a third thing, the in-between. The in-between was independent of the other two things, and it existed. And although the mouse can see it, it kept moving and changing and becoming new over and over again. Why is the mouse looking for the in-between? He is seeking himself. He's seeking himself in relationship. He is in the present, in the now. And while he's pondering this entity, he finds himself in this bond with the mystery. I always thought about deeply spiritual people who have this real ability to not let others' anger and frustration bother them. I can tell it bothers them, but somehow they're able to kind of smooth it all out. And I was not envious, but I was just like, it was a gift. And for all of us to have a little bit of that skill, right? Because when we find someone that we're having a difficult time with, it's hard to say, to really look at them in this beautiful human way as if they were very important. And so it's like when we unveil the humanity that exists between us and others around us, it starts to flow through us, and it makes it easier for us to accept someone who's in a disagreement with us. And when you turn the other cheek, it's still a slap, but it becomes more something that you can surrender to without surrendering, right? And I met some people who clearly thought I was on their side, but this old man, one of these old wise men, said to me once, "Chet, we all got to walk this earth." And I loved him up, and I felt so good afterwards. It was a beautiful thing, and I felt at this moment I had reached a point that the in-between was trying to achieve. And it happens to all of us at the same time. I mean, just like it says at the beginning, we're better united, right, than we are not united. We do better. We just get more done. I'm getting to the point. I'll get to the end. Okay. So I had so many. Books. I just keep trying. Anyway, so trying to find the beauty in the in-between creates a great warmth in my heart. It seems endless, like pie. Not pie. It would be nice to have endless pie. and we're talking about that pie.
Cake or pie?
No, the pie that I'm going to get from you. I get a pie from him.
3.17.
Oh, yeah, we know. But so the in-between, it's endless like pie. It's ever-changing like a shoreline. It's essential like an in-breath and an out-breath. It's organized and intentional like growth. It's eternal like living and dying, the in-between. But to me, the most powerful in-between, the most essential in-between is the in-between that awakens when I'm in the presence of another. The spontaneous, fulfilling dynamic we both adhere to It could be intentional or often improvisational. It breeds itself. It stands in the future. Yes, it is in the future. It has one foot in the future at least. It exists after we separate. And the next time we meet, it will pick up where we left off, like a true best friend. This planet was, yes, made for two, or maybe it was made for three. You and me and the in-between. That's all I want.
Thank you, Chet. So, man, even this morning, so what you just said is touching me, because I have been in that place just recently where I have been in disagreement with people and trying to find that peace by which I can connect and find some common ground with those that I do not necessarily see eye to eye with. And in reading the story this morning, again, another revelation occurred to me, the tree itself. So my dad was a kind of a literal guy, and he would say that a tree is a pump. So a pump. So a tree, so we're talking about the tree with its roots in the ground and then also living in the air, and in Dad's view, a tree respirates, right? It moves oxygen out into the atmosphere. And so the tree itself is a kind of an in-between. And also in the natural world, I think that the in-between describes edge environments, like the intersection between fields and the woods, or a wetland and a prairie and a lake. Edge environments are rich. They harbor the most diversity. That's where all the life is. That's where you want to go birding, for example. Everything comes down to the water to drink. But I love this story because it touches me where I live in my head and hopefully in my life. Theologically, I am a humanist. I am skeptical of the supernatural. I think God is not scary. God is all around, soaked into the earth, alive in the air. The natural has more than enough mystery within it. We don't need to go inventing invisible constructs that get us into trouble. And so, I say often that I see God in the connection, in the space between us, the tie that binds. Just as Chet said, whenever you have two things, you have three. You have the one, you have the other, and you have the space between them. Chet's story, I think, emphasizes the ineffability, the need to not be able to put your finger directly on it. If you could, it would lose its power. The language, I think, invites spatial thinking. Where is this in between? And that got me going on another idea to maybe add to the conversation. I don't know, but it has to do with temporal thinking. When is the in-between? What does the in-between mean in terms of time? So we've talked about this before, but the word liminal has both spatial and temporal implications. So liminality comes to us as a concept developed by an anthropologist in the early part of the 20th century. His name was Arnold von Gennep, and he was studying small societies. So, imagine societies in another part of the world in that time in the early 20th century when we were off not colonizing, but perhaps trying to do a scientific version of that. Anyway, Gennep was studying rituals, like coming-of-age rituals, or becoming a monk, or marriage, or things like that. And he was noticing that in that ritual, we do this too, coming-of-age things and baptisms, for example. In the middle of those rituals, there's a liminal time. There is a time when the person who is moving through the ritual is not yet one thing, or it's still not one thing, not yet another. They are in that liminal space. Liminality comes from the Latin word limen, which means threshold. They are standing at the threshold. There's a certain ambiguity, a disorientation that happens in that middle stage of the rituals. Participants no longer have their pre-ritual status and have not yet begun to transition into their new selves until the ritual is complete. Liminality is when things are turning. It's the point of change. So you'll like this. How far can a dog run into the woods? Halfway, because then he's running out.
The in-between, but.
So this idea of liminality was expanded in the 1960s by another anthropologist, Victor Turner, who took the idea a little bit to its other stages to ask about what is it that experience of liminality does to your personality? How is it that it changes you as a person to have experienced this in-between? There's a disorientation in the in-between, but also the possibility of new perspectives. Turner says that if liminality is regarded as a time and place of withdrawal from normal modes of social action, like a retreat, for example, it potentially can be seen as a period of scrutiny for central values and rules. You can rethink who you are and how you want to be in life when you are in between. Often, in these times, normally accepted differences like social class are often de-emphasized or ignored. There's a sense of community that forms, one based on common humanity and equality rather than a hierarchy. There's good fellowship, spontaneity, warm, close contact. For example, during a pilgrimage, like the one that I took a year and a half ago, the Camino de Santiago in Portugal and Spain, members of the upper class and members of the lower class might mix and converse as equals rather than in normal life when they might never converse at all. Taking it further, liminality might extend to entire societies undergoing change. During liminal periods, social order is upended and even dissolved. Tradition disappears. Things once taken for granted might be thrown into doubt. During these times, there's also danger. There's a dark side to liminality that can develop. In Van Genep's world, small societies with ritual, there's always a guide or a ceremony master who has been through this all before, so that even if being in the middle is disorienting, you can trust that there will be a way out. In times of social change, though, there's no clear future. Everything is in flux. So this allows for the emergence of self-proclaimed ceremony masters, tricksters, who assume leadership positions and attempt to perpetuate liminality, which is to say, chaos. The figure of the trickster occurs in nearly all societies. Loki, the rabbit, the fox, you know these stories, right? From a little web research. Tricksters are always marginal characters, outsiders, as they cannot trust or be trusted, cannot give or share. They are incapable of living in a community. They are repulsive, characterized by excessive eating, drinking, and sexual behavior, having no sense of shame. They are not taken seriously given their affinity with jokes and storytelling and fantasizing, and yet in liminal times, the trickster is a very dangerous figure. In a liminal situation, tricksters can be mistaken for charismatic leaders capable of saving people caught in the whirlpool. Tricksters drain the moment of its real creativity, turn it into a scene of rivalry. People enthralled with the trickster just mimic them because they don't know what else to do. Too much stress, too much uncertainty. Except that we all have to live together. We might be in this kind of liminal time in our society right now. stepping back just a little bit to a more creative sense of liminality, sense of in-between. I feel like we have been in this in-between since we came back together as a church community back in September, and I announced that I would be retiring. I am not still one thing, not yet another. You too might not be still one thing, not yet another. And this has been a little unsettling for me, for sure, and maybe for you. Changes in our organizational structure, our social justice work, our time together on a Sunday, all these things are changing. The in-between is a powerful, powerful idea. The mouse invites us into a time of reflection and change, maybe a little bit of danger too. The good part is that liminality is fluid, it's malleable. If we do it right, we might find a new perspective, new identities, we might grow. That's my thought.
The mouse and the liminal.
I went out on a limb on that.
A liminal. You went out on a limb on that. I thank you. That took it to the next level. I wanted to point something out, and that is, as a teacher, I always have to ask myself, especially as I've grown as a teacher, what do I want to get out of this? And more so, what do I want you to get? So I always tell the students what I'm expecting. I would say, for instance, I want you today, when I do a little tree block, I said, I want you, when you leave here today, I want you to look at trees differently. And that's what I want you to do. So they're like, oh, I'm expecting that and to see that. And so for you, I'd like for you to leave here with that flux, that moment, that liminal in your heart, knowing that it can go either way. My mother used to say, keep your yard clean. But he even, keep your yard clean. Tend your own garden, right? But I feel like we have some work to do, and this moment, it's so strange, I had this moment with this fella a week ago, and I had to stop back at his house. He says, well, wait till I'm home, I want to see you again. It was, I'm like, why does that happen? And it's so important for me to leave you with something like that, to see other people, and to find a safety, right, in uncloaking the world and revealing humanity amongst the people amongst us that need to get along. When I first started working on this, I started saying, I wish we all can get along. This book is the answer. Not the answer. I mean, that's biblical, but I did say.
Works for me.
It's in the book here. It literally it came into me I was going to put it forward in there. I'm like, oh, the inspiration for the story came from a wish to share with children of many deeper mysteries in nature, specifically trees. As the story progressed, though, examples of other in-betweens were revealed to me. One being the in-between that exists between us as humans, the common entity that unites us. I can only hope that the story awakens and reveals the truest bond we have with one another. From the book, for things that are real, we know sight unseen when we feel our life shared in the in-between.
Amen, brother.
And so, and it just came out, and I says, that's got to be at the beginning, because then that was like the seed, and then now it's flowed. But there's the way you put the study they did, 100-something years ago, it did reveal that whole that aspect that's so living in all of us. And so, all the other in between. I had one in between, like this. We'll see, I guess. But plants. I mean, how do they know? How does a buckthorn know to be so irritating? Like, I find a maple in the woods this big around. I cut it, I take it up away. You find a buckthorn this big, you cut it, it's hung up on everything, and it just knows, and it has these thorns, and it grows twice as fast. It knows exactly how to piss off humans. All right, no. And how does it know that? How does it know? It's in relationship to us. It's strange. If a plant is in relationship to us, then maybe so it knows how to cause us pain, suffering, aggravation, and it will leave it alone, which is survival.
Yeah.
But does it know how to give us love? If it knows how to give us pain, maybe it knows how to give us joy, and flowers and fruit and things, and then we keep coming back, right? So there's an in between the relationship that we have with plants. They're spying on us, and we don't even know it. They know something. Survival is selfish, so I understand. I understand the plants are that way. So, but that's one thing I wanted to share with you in nature. But if you leave with something today, I got you. There's something. If you leave with something today, this is my one. I got a tag. It's for you. So, if you leave with something today, it's that moment to ask yourself, we have to walk this earth together, and I'm gonna find a space in my heart, in my world, in my America, for you, regardless of if I have a space in yours for me. Amen.
Let's sing together. Hymn number 95, and your gray hymnals are here on the wall. Let's rise and bow to your spirit.
We should do this again.
Please join us for coffee and conversation below the sanctuary after worship, after Alex's postlude. And again, if you could join us for a little bit afterwards to move the chairs around. Social Justice Council, where do you want to meet? Up here someplace. It'll be chaos. That's okay. And when you go, as always, go in love. Seek justice. Find peace.
We were born for the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sailed into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and your spirit fly as we sail into the mystic air. When that foghorn blows, I will be coming home. When that foghorn blows, I want to hear it. I don't have to fear it, and I want to rock your gypsy soul. Just like way back in the days of old, and magnificently we'll float as we sail into the mystic air. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. When that foghorn blows, you know I will be coming home. When that foghorn whistle blows, I gotta hear it. I don't have to fear it, and I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in those days of old. And together we will float as we sail into the mystic air. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. And yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sailed into the mystic. Thank you. Thanks, Chet.